you use the Roto brush tool to create a base frame, which includes a segmentation boundary that divides the foreground from the background. After Effects applied the segmentation boundary across the entire length of the layer. The Roto brush span appears below the time ruler at the bottom of the layer panel. When After Effects is propagated, well, that's a word, that's a cool word, propagated the current boundary for a frame, the bar beneath that frame on the time ruler is green. As you move forward and backward through the footage, the segmentation boundary moves with the foreground object, in this case the boy. We're going to step through the frames in the span and make adjustments to the segmentation boundary as necessary. So in the Effects Control panel, make sure this quality is set to standard right here. When standard is selected, frames are processed at a lower resolution and the segmentation boundary propagates more quickly, but the matte may include fewer edge details. When the quality is set to best, the matte will have more detailed edges, but the process will be slower. For most projects, standard is sufficient. So, we're now going to press 2 on your main keyboard, not the numeric keypad, and that will move us forward one frame. Oops. There, went forward one frame. Working from the base frame, After Effects tracks the edge of the object and attempts to follow its movement. Depending on how plex your foreground and background elements are, the boundary may or may not conform exactly to the area you hoped it would. As you progress through this clip, you may notice changes to the segmentation boundary along the boy's right sleeve, which is the left edge of the clip, as more of the code is revealed in the frame. Likewise, you may need to refine the segmentation boundary around the flaps of the cap and the edges of the hood. Using the Roto brush tool, paint foreground and background strokes to refine the matte for this frame. If the matte is accurate, you don't need to paint any strokes. So, if you don't make a stroke you like, all you got to do is undo it and try again. As you move through the span, each change you make affects the frames after it. The more you refine your selection, the better the overall results will be. You may find it useful to move forward a few frames to see how the changes affect the boundary. So we are going to just press 2 as you go through, and I'm not going to do this. You do it on yours. I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it on the video, if you know what I mean. So go through and add and subtract from the background as necessary to refine the boundary, and repeat those steps until you get to the end of the layer. So just go through this whole layer, making any adjustments that you need. So I've completed mine. I'm just going to scrub through. My biggest area was this spot right in here, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see mine as it goes through where I had to make some adjustments there. So let's click File and then save what we've done.